Do I look like the type of person that ever toned anything down?
Hello and welcome to the Part-Time Gamers, the gaming podcast for people with full-time lives. I am Cyrenex, clocking in with my good friend 9 of 12.
Hi.
Hi. And that one weirdo.
I no longer have a naughty list. I just have naughty scrolls.
That's valid, I guess.
That
I
sounds
used
like
to
a
have
really
them
useful,
post-its, and then it was like nobody could have that much post-its.
a very useful D&D scroll to have.
Yeah, just naughty.
Spell. Naughty.
Yeah.
Naughty.
Yeah,
It's like, that'd be a cantrip where it's just like...
defend and...
Yeah,
Go
just
ahead, sorry.
naughty would be just a cantrip where you make someone like slightly mischievous. It's like they're compelled to like shoplift something small.
Yep.
Something like that. And it's like, and if you do D&D in like the Skyrim universe, they steal a bucket and are immediately swarmed by every town guard in like a 3-mile radius. Somehow. Anyways. Yeah. So, yeah, we're doing this. This is, so off the top of the show, apparently I forgot to mention to my co-host this fact, which I do apologize. This is going to be our last episode of the month, or of the month and of this year. We're going to be, the next Sunday that we have is going to be just before the Sunday before Christmas. And then, we're going to have all the holidays and everything. So this is typical
through the house. Not a creature was stirring.
Except literally everyone, because I have 3 children. Everyone is stirring. But
Well, actually, and it's going to be my 26th wedding anniversary as well. So.
yeah, which I didn't know, but awesome. I'm glad to be accidentally correct sometimes. But yeah, typically we take a break during the end of the year anyways, so this is going to be my time to kind of evaluate how the stream is going, see if I can, adjust the workflow and all that jazz, and continue on, try to make the show better for next year.
Finally get part-time shamers going and the whole sock puppet thing.
Yeah.
That's right. I brought around the sock puppets.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, part-time shamers actually isn't a bad idea because we end up going to that anyways.
Wait, did you just admit that I, being of sound mind and I couldn't finish that. Had a good idea. You're like, I'll never
It's like,
tell.
yeah, we could make it a segment, but it would be too long. So
Yeah, that's the
it just
problem.
has to be a different
'cause I never
show.
It's like we
pissing
usually have
about it.
enough that we can make it a full show.
It would be like Peter Griffin on Family Gears. You know what grinds my gears? 3 hours later, it's like, how many gears do you have?
All of them.
Maybe we should take notes throughout the year and then like do a part-time shamers special at Festivus. So it's all airing our grievances.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
That would be fun.
But until we make plans or, until that comes off the dartboard, we saw Part-Time Gamers, and we're going to be, so this being our last show, it kind of worked out this year that our last 2 episodes of the year sandwich the Game Awards. So last week we talked about kind of our predictions, what we were looking forward to, what we kind of expected from the Game Awards. Today, since the Game Awards happened this past week, we get to talk about what actually happened and all the winners that we are really not surprised won.
I tell you, the major event in my house around it that happened was my son discovered his drinking limit because he was watching with friends, and he decided to make it into a drinking game and have a drink every time he disagreed with the host, with Jeff there, and ended up throwing up all over his room, and then having a meltdown. And
In what respect, like disagreeing with Jeff?
I don't know. I couldn't go into it. He was too having a meltdown about the
Yeah.
whole situation, and then life in general, like, can happen when you're that drunk.
I mean,
Wow,
I could
that-
kind of see this happening if you have like some particular dislike of Claire Obscure. If you didn't like Claire Obscure, I'm sorry, this was not
You
your
shouldn't
year.
have bothered watching, really.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No.
Pretty much. We'll get into those details in a little bit, but yeah, we're gonna be talking
like
about
Return of the King that one year for Peter Jackson. It's like we don't want to keep hearing that name, and it's like, well, then leave.
yeah. Or it's like the last time Scott and Brian were eligible to get into the podcast awards. Brian going up there with his funny hat and everything became a meme of the show. Although, we'll get into our discussion right now as we get back or get to work.
Morning break is over. Morning break is over.
So yeah, this, like, spoiler alert, Claire Obscure won almost everything. Also, this
Even
is my
gave them a
surprise
country.
face.
It's like, you want Australia? Go ahead.
Yeah, this is my surprise face at Claire Obscure winning almost everything. Yeah. So we're not going to get too much into the winners and stuff because honestly, to me, there wasn't really any surprises for a lot of the winners. Obviously Claire Obscure. So the Claire Obscure was nominated had 13 nominations in 11 different categories. The reason why that is, like, because I had heard, like, oh, they had 13 nominations, and then looked at this, like, wait, they're only in 11 categories. They have 3 different nominations in Best Performance. So that's how they can get 13 out of 11 categories. And one of the categories was People's Choice, which we didn't know about beforehand. But yeah, it won almost every category it was in. The only 2 that it did not win in was Best Sound Design, which went to Battlefield 6. Not a surprise. Been hearing good things about that.
I actually called that one.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
Yeah, and even with Claire Obscure, which I had played, like I knew, and we touched on it a little bit, but they've now, especially with a lot of those type of games, like, it's not just bang,
Oh yeah.
kaboom. There has to be that volume there in that space, and they nailed it. So kudos to them. They got the one thing or 2 things on Claire Obscure.
Yeah. They and it makes sense for that kind of, like, a tactical shooter like that. Sound design is very important, not just because of the sound of the actual weapons and stuff like that, but also because of the situational awareness of it. Having that Doppler effect, having the I can't think of the words, the spatial sound to it, and so you can like, okay, it's like you hear a gunshot and it's like, oh, it's over that way. Just from the sound. That's very important. So it makes a lot of sense that a game like Battlefield 6 would have really good sound design. And sure enough, it got the award for that. The only other award that Claire Obscure missed out on was Player's Choice. The winner was Wuthering Waves, because mobile garbage. Well, mobile garbage, I should say. Yeah, it's whatever. It's just phone games. Oh, and that is why you don't.
What you mad about phone games, huh?
Right? Jeez.
I don't know. It's anyway. I mean, obviously,
It's not
the
your
thing
thing.
is,
That's fine.
it's a thing. I know. I know it's very accessible and all that jazz. It's just, and I'm not even saying some games are bad. Like, I've never actually played Wuthering Waves. It looks like as
But I feel like
Scott
you want to
Johnson
say
would.
they're bad.
Yeah. As Scott Johnson says, it looks like anime bullshit. So
He says that about anything anime, though.
yeah, that is also
Anime
true.
bullshit. Just in my punk
certainly
band.
curmudgeon you.
That was fun. Like,
Anime is amazing.
yeah, it can be.
He should, maybe he's just a horrible person.
No,
That's also a possibility.
He's got issues with gotcha.
Yeah,
And
I mean, and that's the same thing with me.
So he makes that assumption as soon as he sees anything that style.
Well, the problem is,
'Cause that's healthy.
Like, probably 80 to 90% of the time, it's true. I mean, every so often it's not, but it's like Wuthering Waves.
I don't have any
is-
room to talk. I
Yeah.
loved Fairy Tale, so
Yeah.
give me
I mean,
the fan service.
I wouldn't
if you
mind
don't
it if
want
there wasn't like 28 seasons of it. Like, that's one of those series where like the little bit that I saw,
yeah,
I
I gave
didn't
up on it.
mind.
Like the first, couple
Yeah.
seasons, or then it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not bothering going back there.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those things that just like now it just feels so insurmountable that it's like I don't really want to get into it because there's just too much of it. But regardless, the most number of players who voted chose Wuthering Wave. Take that as you will. Maybe that's why they have an academy for this kind of stuff. But anyways,
Yeah.
so yeah, out of 11 categories, Clair Obscur won in 9, beating the previous record of 7 set by The Last of Us Part 2. So Clair Obscur now has the record at the Game Awards for the most number of categories won, which is again like
So there's controversy about whether it actually should be considered an indie game.
according.
and they,
No, well, that's the thing is it ultimately you can have your own definition of what is an indie game, but the thing is on the official website they defined what was defined
I
for
know.
each of their categories.
I'm saying there is controversy, there is discussion about whether the category definitions for a few things, not just indie games. There was the RPG category.
Yeah.
There's criticism that is also too broad, and should be defined more clearly. Clair Obscurus being able to sweep so much in so many categories really brought, I think, to mind people wanting to like, maybe we should define this. Like, is it taking away from little tiny indie developers when a AAA title can win it? Type questions. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them adding additional categories. I mean, I don't really think that's necessarily a bad thing for them to do, to have a little bit more defined. It's like part of it also could be that maybe in the past they didn't have enough in that the more specific categories to fill it out. It could be a possibility.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could understand them like if they in hindsight, if they went back, like had a time machine, went back and did that for this year, I think they could definitely do it because this year was just such a banger for video games. And I can understand to a degree kind of spreading out the love. But at the same time, it's like Clair Obscur clearly is a phenomenon this year.
Well, yeah.
And like, okay, yeah, you might get, like there's, I personally love the fact that they got this many, but I can understand people who are just like, I liked this other game too. I wanted it to get recognition. But also forgetting that just being nominated is recognition. We have such a winner mentality for these things, for like award shows, that it's like, if you didn't get the award, you're garbage. And it's like, no, you were still beat out hundreds, if not thousands of games to even get on the list, to get the chance. That is recognition as well. But yeah, even yeah, they, for their part, I like the fact that they did define what criteria they were going by, and that by
Yeah, they
their
was too.
that by
I'm just
their
mentioning
definition.
stuff I read.
Yeah, I know.
I read
know,
also
I'm not-
that it is
Yeah.
being suggested to them that they actually create something like the Academy has for the Academy Awards,
Yeah.
to make it a more narrow scope of who is qualified to judge, like, than whatever
Yeah.
it is. I'm not even sure what exactly it is they use now to do this.
I do think
But
there
I
is some
saw
level
some
of like
suggestion
academy to it.
that they narrow that.
Yeah, and
It
I
was an
can.
article I was reading earlier.
Yeah, I mean, and that's.
For a second, I was like, "Am I going to have to be the grown up and separate you two?" Like that's poor planning.
I mean, I'm part of my ADHD is sometimes I don't recognize my tone of voice, so
No,
I
you guys-
apologize. But
No, this is beautiful. This is why we do this.
yeah, but
I was trying to contribute to the discussion with things I said.
So,
And-
question.
Yep.
So, and I asked this, and this is why I love this. I love doing this with you too. and what it brings for me. What are the steps? Because I always felt for some reason like Game Awards was always more, because with a lot of awards and a lot of award shows, I don't want to say it's in-house, but there are institutes, there are offices, organizations that build the criteria, build and kind of oversee how it's all brought together. And I'm not sure why. Well, maybe because I'm a space cadet in most days. I thought it was always more fan based, not necessarily like voting per se, but it always seemed to, at least my thought on it, seemed to come more from, because there's movies with the Oscars that nobody watches and then wins a ton of awards, and then they get some kind of recommendation. But gaming as itself is so driven within the culture created by the people who obviously play the games. So I always thought that was just more the case. It wasn't always a case of like, well, this is a really great game. Yeah, two people played it. It was always
Yeah.
behind this is who's playing it. Look how many people are online even after all this time. And it was more
Yeah.
about that. That's why you never saw
And-
anything like Suicide Squad get
They
an
acknowledge
award.
the Game Awards does acknowledge, and it's like Jeff Neely Knightley, whatever, the Canadian dude that hosts it, also is one of the producers, and there's a lot of these other producers. That a lot of it is about the advertising. Those advertisements sell for, I think it's $250K for 60 seconds and $1 million for a 3-minute spot. So
It's like a
it's a
Super
money
Bowl.
generating thing.
Yeah.
The decisions about the awards are made by a jury, and that's like
Yeah.
90% of the score. And then they do have audience players that vote, and that's like 10% of the score.
Yeah, I actually have it up on the stream now. Is like they do have in the FAQ, they have the award process. They have a section for how the nominees are selected. Are chosen by an international jury of over 100 global media and influencer outlets, selected for their history of critical video game evaluation. Specialized jury is also, it goes through that whole process.
A lot.
Why do you use this jury for select nominees? Given the sheer number of games released each year, as well as the extended time required to fully evaluate products, a voting outlet approach allows for the widest possible critical assessment. A ballot submitted to the Game Awards represents the collective opinion of an entire outlet. And then, winners are determined by a blended vote between the voting jury, 90%, and public fan voting. So, like I said, I'll give them this much.
Join their Discord. We should join their Discord.
That'd be fun.
I mean, we've been doing a show. We're talking about video games for years. Like,
Yeah,
we should join that Discord and try to get on that jury. Just saying.
Yeah. that'd be cool.
We're influencers.
Yeah,
Kind of, but I don't know who, but both of
But
our
there's
both of our watchers.
100 of them instead of If they,
both
But,
of you are
they're
watchers. Hey, I got a new personality because I stopped taking my meds. We're up to 3. One makes soap.
Yeah, count each of them as hosts on the show. That way we look more important. Maybe.
I counted one of them twice because he let himself go, so he counts as extra.
But
so
for what it's
that totally viewer decided won the Fortnite thing. That's really interesting.
well, the
Did you know
player's
the
choice
island?
was Wuthering Wave for this one. Yeah, player's choice is completely.
No, I'm talking about the island. They
Oh,
do a thing with the Fortnite island,
yeah,
and then they open up a special place where you can go make shit in Fortnite, and people go and make it, and then that's voted on as which is everyone's favorite island that was created
Okay.
for this in Fortnite. And this year, when they opened that up, that server to go make these islands for the competition, it was slowing Fortnite down. It
That's
went
insane.
so crazy.
Jeez. Yeah. But yeah, for what it's worth, I actually really like the fact that they've taken out a lot of the questions. Like, I didn't even realize that they had this whole awards process listed on their site. Oh, I mean, it's just on their FAQ, just like, hey, this is the process that we take. this is the process we use. You can agree with it, you can disagree with it, but this is what we're determining it by. The fact that they have for their award process itself, the fact that they have the definition of what does this category mean, right on the webpage, so yes, people can
I knew
disagree
it
with
was
that.
there, but
Yeah, but yeah,
I
but
looked
like,
because I'm that brand of nerd.
But
yeah,
but I love that degree of parameters where
yes,
because everybody's gonna like their own thing, and I'm one of
yeah,
those. I'm still bitter about this. Well, maybe it's like I said once again. Maybe I'm just a bad person, but Pulp Fiction's my favorite movie. My girlfriend's favorite movie, oddly enough, I don't know if it's her favorite, but up there is Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump not only made money, but was like so huge that year. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, it'll exist, but if you love it, that's great. But for me, I watch Forrest Gump and I'm like, I'd rather drill my own fillings
yeah,
after sniffing glue. Like, everything is, that's the beauty of art or creation. Like it can be
yeah,
very subjective.
yeah. It's very
Even in the
subjective,
case
and
of
like,
video games, and I think video games is
yeah,
absolutely an art form. You know,
oh yeah.
I'm maybe old and grumpy, but I'm not Scorsese.
But yeah, and then a lot of this is not just it's because everyone has their own individual opinions and everything, but this is like trying to gauge the collective as much as possible. Oh, and so I mean that's the best you can do. I mean, in regards to the winners, kind of start off with that. I personally don't think there's any real surprises here.
No,
Oh, yeah, Claire Obscure getting all of the things that it got. To me that just made sense. The one that like
The
the
only
audio design,
surprises I think were categories that we had no idea what those games were, and so
yeah, pretty much. It's like I think, I I am really glad that Jennifer English got best performance. Uh,
oh yeah,
for the
yeah.
like I I think I predicted her, and that not just like the her performance in general was just great, first of all, and it was throughout the entire game. It was just constant. The other two were not in the entire game. So just not just the degree of her performance, but also the breadth of her performance. That's why I chose her, and I'm glad she got it. She did a really good job.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, like games for impact. I don't think we had like really any idea on any of these games. Really, I said really more than once, so whatever. But yeah, South of Midnight got games for impact. I think September. I think you said that one actually. You predicted that. Um, best ongoing. I wanted Helldivers 2 to win. But it makes absolute sense that No Man's Sky would. That. So I'm glad they got it. I mean, they're the
Nomansky.
yeah. No Man's Sky is like the such an exception to the rules in the gaming universe, where it's like they had a terrible start to their game, and then have turned it completely around, and said and become like one of the better games out there. It's still in existence. I mean, it's a fantastic thing that they've done with that. Best community support. Again, I just like Helldivers 2 in these categories, but Baldur's Gate 3, they have a lot. They've done a lot of community based
Yeah.
stuff, updating their games, so it makes perfect sense. I'm not surprised by that. Oh,
So
best
I thought we weren't
indie.
going to talk about all the winners and stuff.
Well, we're not talking about all of them, but
All right.
like mobile game. I don't think we either any of us had anything there. Like I haven't
some
seen any of the VR games, so
there was some
oh
Doom love, which made me happy.
yeah, with the accessibility. Oh
Yeah, this one is fantastic, and like all Doom
And we
games,
talked about that
it's
last show, so cool.
yeah. I was thrilled. I mean,
Yeah.
my son especially, like, and he won't get a PS5, and he's like, and which is fine. I mean, I love when he comes over, but it's hilarious. I was like, I'll give it a try because I think for some reason he fell off with Doom for a minute, and
Yeah.
I just like going through like more of the older ones. So this one was not such a great jump forward, but as far as like kind of changing so many aspects of storylines as well as just overall visuals.
Yeah.
You literally have a buzzsaw shield.
Yeah. And I do
And
like how they've gone out of their way to vary the gameplay on each of the 3 games. Oh, it's like
yes.
starts off run and gun, then jump and shoot, and now stand your ground. So that you can they still feel similar in context, but they play the mechanically different, which is nice.
I found
I
my
was
old
glad.
floppy disk that had it, the first one,
Oh,
way
yeah?
back when. And
Nice.
my son was like,
Wow.
"What's that?" I said, "It's a video game." He goes, "No. What's that plastic thing?" I'm like, "That used to be our world. Show some show some respect."
Yeah.
But I showed him, and he had never even tried the old school one from way back when. But he was
Yeah.
like me. He was thoroughly impressed with Dark Ages. Like they
Yeah.
really upped the ante. So the next game will suck, and we understand why.
Yeah.
Because they do. They're one of the bigger games, at least for me. It's always an ebb and flow. Like they'll
Yeah.
pull off 2 good ones, and then they'll be like, "So I don't want to come down from my chair made of money to work at this. Can we do the iPhone thing and just like scratch out the name and make it new on the box?"
Yeah. Yeah, like some,
I was glad to.
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was glad to see Hades 2 got some love.
Yes, I was just
I
about
was
to note
concerned
that.
with the Clair Obscur taking everything over that they would end up with nothing,
Yeah.
and it is good.
Yeah. Hades 2 got best action game, no surprise. Best action adventure, Silk Song got some recognition as well there, which is good. I am kind of sad that I don't think Split Fiction got anything this year. I mean, they got the nominations obviously, but they weren't
Yeah.
able to get any awards. And
I didn't see
again,
nothing but Dead Stranding 2.
yeah, and that's something that's crazy. It's like there are so many independent games or smaller games in this whole lineup. That's like, I think like Sony had 19 nominations and got 0 awards. They got
That's crazy.
nothing out of this. Like the only like big name, like kind of the big 3 that got anything was Nintendo. And I think they got Bonanza and
Donkey
Mario
Kong.
Kart. Yeah, Donkey Kong
Oh, yeah.
Bonanza and Mario Kart were the 2 that they
It's a
got.
shame.
And
The biggest shame about Split Fiction not taking anything to me is that I think it's so innovative and it's already starting to kind of be copied. You're seeing more Split Fiction like we saw
Yeah.
those bullet hells coming out after Vampire Survivor. And so
Yeah.
this was their chance. So I'm glad they got
Yeah.
a couple nominations, and I feel like they still got some growth ahead of them because I see more people finding it every day.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean,
I feel like it's a shame they didn't get anything because it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a fantastic game. I mean, that's the thing is, a lot of these nominations, they didn't lose because they're bad. It's just something else struck a chord more.
It was
Like,
a tough field for a
oh,
lot of
yeah. I mean,
categories.
again, to have Clair Obscur, Hades 2, which is like, people, like when they describe Hades 2, they go, imagine Hades, but better. And it's like,
Right.
how
And
is
when
that
does that
possible?
happen?
And you're
Exactly.
like,
with
how
a
did you do
2.
that?
Yeah. It's like, how do you make that happen? But just like, even just
Maybe
the
we'll get
phenomenon.
Splitter Fiction. No.
Splitter Fiction. But
Splitter
yeah, it's just,
fictions.
I mean, this again, this
Well, it's
year,
already a lot of fictions.
yeah. I mean, this year in general is just has
Yeah.
so many,
So much depth. So
yeah,
much depth.
it's
And it's across the
crazy.
board. Like when you look at not only the games, but a lot of the stylings, even in like categories. Like even for
Yeah.
me, and I mentioned, Death Stranding 2 and Kojima, came up goose egg.
Yeah,
And I think I don't want to say like it sets like a precedent, like ooh you, but because so many of his games are done in such a way and put on such a pedestal, if you will, to see him, I mean, of course, him being nominated, that's like a given. Even he
Yeah.
knows that while he's like meeting stars, and it's like you're supposed to be making games. Um, we knew a lot of that was going to be there, and it was going to have kind of its place at the table. But
Yeah.
as far as like not winning anything,
I mean, not even
is
that.
it?
Like,
Yeah.
not only did he not win anything, Jeff Keighley normally will bring him on stage regardless of the circumstances.
Hmm.
He was like, they showed him on camera when Death Stranding was being nominated, and then nothing else.
Yeah.
That is, like, in the history of me watching the Game Awards, that's unheard of. So
Yeah.
that was surprising.
He's always locked in some way, interviewed, and it's just it's part of who he is, and that just like that's it's him. But
Yeah.
one, I think the games were just so vast. It was
Oh
such
yeah.
depth to so many of the games, and just the fields. Like for
Yeah.
me, the big ones, and then like you said, like there's a lot of independence, even to the point where I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
That came out? There was a lot of those reactions from people, and I think that just says a lot about just what was released, the level to which was released, and how it hit kind of fans and fan bases where it's like, yeah, Kojima, you're always my dog, but we expect this from you, and
Yeah.
we know you do it well. There are 3 other games that might be pushing a limit in a way you may not have done recently. As much as I love the
Yeah.
guy and Death Stranding too, if you're knocking on a particular door, especially of innovation, and you have somebody who was really like getting that measure, but has reached it. And now it's like, okay, cool. But did you see what these guys did? And they're like,
Yeah.
less budget, less stars behind, less ads, and they're getting more awards, they're getting more kudos, and they're getting
Yeah.
more playing.
And I think part of that comes down to, like, we as players can start to see where the passion is.
Mhm.
Because, like, you have these giant games, it's like they have tons of money behind them. And it's like, and maybe when the franchises started, they were really focusing on, like, okay, let's make sure we establish a good game and everything like that. But then from that point on, it's like, okay, this is established. People are going to buy it regardless. And we don't really need to try that hard anymore. And the passion has become, how can we make money out of this rather than how can we make a good product?
Part-time shamers.
Yeah. Anyways.
Save it.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue. Like, the only,
Can we talk
for
about
me-
the show?
yeah, I just want to make one more note about the winners. The only one that really surprised me to any degree, and even that's not really that surprising to me, was best multiplayer, going to Arc Raiders.
Oh, that's a good one.
Part of it is because I have the only insight I have into Arc Raiders is from Bo Schwartz from the Core podcast, and he has not had a good time playing it at all, ever.
He's grouchy, though. He likes very specific things.
Well, and like the way that he explains it is like it's an extraction shooter, you know, in like most of the time it seems like people are actually trying to help each other out. It's like, hey, I don't want to attack you, don't attack me, I just want to get my stuff and leave type of situation. But it's like every time Bo plays, within like the first 5 minutes of him getting onto the map, he's getting shot at. So it's like, okay, I don't want to do this. This isn't fun. So that's the only experience vicariously I've had. So, and I don't really care for I don't really care for PvP shooters.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
this
lots
I
of
think,
people do, so.
yeah. I mean, it's popular, and that's I'll give it its due that apparently it seems to be a pretty good game. This is the category I would have wanted Split Fiction to win, though, but not the case. And the rest of these are kind of to be expected. Oh, no real big surprise in those. But onto the actual show. So I have my highlights. I have my announcements I'm excited for. I thought it looked cool. I have my lowlights and just notable stuff. And
Yeah, I'm gonna move. I put something in your highlights because I
That's
was
cool.
working on my phone.
yeah.
I'll put it in my own.
Oh, I thought as like it might have ended up detracting from the rest of the show because they started the official show. First thing they did is did one of the biggest songs from Clair Obscur. It was a live performance, and it was amazing. And I thought it was awesome because the guy on the guitar in the middle, that's Lorian. He's the guy who directed all of the music. And he's just out there just jamming like a master on that freaking guitar on stage. He looked amazing out there. And
If
I
you say so.
I thought
I
it
was
looked
not impressed
cool.
with his guitar playing personally.
I j-
I was like, I hope that sounded better live because the audio mix was really weirdly distracting. Like, because they had his guitar playing mixed almost above the vocalists, like, and
Okay.
to an extent that you couldn't hear the orchestra once he came out. You couldn't hear the orchestra anymore. So it was probably mixed better live, or if I was listening in headphones, it might have helped.
Maybe.
But
And this is
and then he went
also
in the solo, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a little sloppy." But I
well,
didn't realize he was, also the game developer
yeah,
until
he's
later. And I was like, "Okay,
yeah,
you
he's
can't
the
be perfect at everything."
yeah.
But it was
But
cool. It was cool for him to
I
be out
think
there
also
rocking out.
yeah, it might have been different because I'm not a musician. So I don't have necessarily an ear for like, okay, what is the guitar supposed to sound like? To me, it sounded cool. He was just, and more
Yeah,
so, I was just, more
different
so,
nerdy
I was just
things.
impressed by his confidence. I just like he was
Oh
just going
yeah,
out there acting like he was just owned the stage. And I have like one of my details for the like notables is obviously he got the accepted the reward for best score in music. And after seeing him go out on stage and just own it playing the guitar, to see him go out and actually accept the award, I found it strangely endearing that he looked like the most nervous person in existence. Like just when he had to just talk to people and accept the award, he's like he has this like crumpled up envelope with his speech in it and everything, and I found that strangely endearing. But so
I'm
yeah,
not. I'm gonna say I'm not surprised by that. And it was endearing. It
yeah,
definitely was. But I know musicians like that, and like my husband's a musician. Rob gets out with the band or singing and solo, and he's rocking out. It's like, damn, he's got this great stage presence. But he would to get up in front of people and speak. Nope,
yeah.
nope,
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
Oh, yeah, I can understand that. But like that's how they started the main show was at this musical
Yep.
piece, and they're just like almost like how can you
Singers
follow
impressed the
that?
shit out of me. I didn't
You
need
just want
to.
to
It was
look
a
around and
great
be
way to
like, so
open.
that's it,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah,
I don't think anybody was, everybody knew Claire Obscure was going to clean up pretty well,
yeah,
and the opportunity to highlight this amazing music by these terrific performers that out even outside of the game people talk about
yeah,
was a really good call.
yeah, yeah. And then they did have a couple segments where they actually for the trailer for Divinity, which was the big statue that Jeff Keighley teased on X or whatever, ended up being related to Divinity, which is Larian Studios' next big game, set again in the Divinity universe. Although they're originally what Divinity original. It's confusing because this one's just called Divinity, even though they've had two games in the past already that have been called Divinity Original Sin. And it's like but it's set in the same world and all that stuff, and there's this whole whatever. In order for the trailer for that, they actually had people come down the aisle of the theater
Like
auditorium.
cosplayers, like
Yeah,
actors coming
yeah.
in.
And then they had like all of a sudden people were getting pulled up by like they were trying to make it look like it was pulled up by some magical force or whatnot, but obviously it was wire work. I actually was kind of impressed by that.
It was I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it didn't look like it fit the game. It didn't look it didn't look really janky at all. It actually looked pretty smooth, other than being able to see the wires. But that's what you can whatever
I
you
mean,
can do.
what are you gonna do? Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
but
out over the audience like that.
yeah,
And it was much more. I thought that one was better than the other one they did toward the end of the show with the guy who was up on wires and
yeah,
lowered into that cube and everything.
yeah.
Like that, I don't remember what that game was even, but
How can you not remember
it was
Control Resonant?
Control, right?
Yeah, that is one of the games
Like
I'm
that
really excited about.
it was so cool, right? And I was like, oh, it's Control, and that's gonna be cool. And then he lowered down in that cube, and then they were showing this in-game stuff that they were putting on the big screen, they kind of never wrapped up what was happening with the physical guy in the cube on the
Well,
stage. It
because
just kind of left.
if you played the game, you know what's going on.
I just,
Because
it ended in a weird place for me.
because I know exactly what the reference is, because the guy in the cube he's in the first game. He's the main protagonist's brother. Oh, and he's been affected by some force that has basically like fractured his psyche, and that's basically a containment cell for him. To protect the outside world from him. So that's the importance of that cube. But the thing is, there's a whole backstory behind him.
There's a whole lot of
theories
shit.
and everything.
I'm just
but
saying the
There's some stuff.
transition.
Yeah.
The transition was odd. Like
Yeah.
at some point too, like even if they had just gone through the rest of that trailer thing, and then gone back to like showing his silhouette or something, right? Like just something to bring the arc back to, because it was such a big, beautiful piece of
Yeah.
production, and it was very impactful, and then to just kind of like abandon it, like cut to the movie, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just,
I'm
I'm just saying
honestly
production
never noticed
values.
that, but
Also a stage nerd, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, presenters.
Oh man,
Not
I know,
terrible, not as terrible.
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
a lot about this one. It was just not as terrible and awkward as other
yeah.
years.
I mean, it might not have had as many of the highs as previous years, but it was good throughout. Oh, I mean, like they did a couple celebrity, a couple celebrity presenters. Like they had Lenny Kravitz in there, which it made sense for him to be there because he's like the main villain of the James Bond movie
new
coming
Bond
up.
game.
007, which looks amazing.
Yeah, and he wasn't
My son
cosplaying. That's
came
just
out
how
of
he
his
looks.
room.
Yes.
My son came out of
and
his
he's
room
61.
drunkenly and said, "That's gonna be really good." And we're like, "What?" And they're like, because it's IOI, and like, you know what Hitman is? And I'm like, "Yes." My husband's like, "No."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh." And so Fletcher's trying to explain what Hitman is to my husband, and I'm trying to watch the freaking Game Awards, and then, but Fletcher was just like psyched because he's not
Yeah.
even playing that James Bond game kind of thing, but he loves Hitman, and he's like, they picked the right studio, and that's going to be a
Hitman back in the
good
day.
Bond game.
Yeah.
And I trust him on that.
Yeah. But yeah, like they had Lenny Kravitz was one of the celebrity ones. They had David Harbour, which I know there's something going on with him, but I haven't actually taken the time to look at what's going on with him. But he's
love
like in
him
headline.
so much.
Like he's in like apparently nasty divorce territory right now. Which
Yeah, he cheated on Lily Allen.
okay. Yeah.
That wasn't nice.
Yeah. I would assume so.
And Millie Bobby Brown accused him of harassing her.
Oh, that too. Yeah. So there
But
is some.
It sucks because I love him so much.
Yeah. I mean, and he
I'm
did
sorry.
a really good job.
I'm looking
but-
forward. This week is the week I'll watch Violent Night again.
That movie.
And I love Red
Oh.
Guardian, right? Like
Yeah.
as an actor, I just dig him so much. And it was like,
Yeah.
God, the
But-
he definitely
Thunderbolts!
he belongs in video games. Like
Yeah.
cool.
He absolutely does, yes.
He did a good job with his presenting as well. Like the only like I guess kind of problematic one that they had was basically the entire cast of the upcoming Street Fighter movie, which I didn't even know was a thing. This is the first I've heard about them making this. And okay, the trailer that they showed, corny as hell. Like they have Guile with like the giant just upside down pyramid of hair. It's like the completely
It's
flat top.
awesome.
Yeah, it
was
look like on paper, this stuff should be dumb. But just like the fact that we have that nostalgia for the old games and they made it
Lean
look
into
like
it,
the
man.
old games. Like they have
Yes.
a scene at the end of the trailer where they're beating up the exact car that they had in the game. It's like it is corny as hell and it is better for it.
There are so many laws of physics that are violated in that trailer many of which are expected, right up
Yep.
And
until
so,
the point where
given
all
that
of a
they
sudden
cast,
we see this
cast-
car and Ken's just
Yeah, just knocking
Given
the
that
he's
they
just
bumper
doing the
off.
casted a
and-
bunch
Rockettes on
of-
it and it's falling. Yeah, and I can be honest. I'll be completely honest. Like I've watched it a ton of times. It's got the for me it's got the mystique of what I want because they seem to be going for like a slick old school kung fu theater kind of vibe, and I'm fans of many of the people in it. I love Andrew
Yeah.
Koji. He was on this fantastic show called Warrior that was gone too soon.
Yeah.
He was also in that terrible GI Joe movie, and he was one of the best parts.
Which
And he is
one?
absolutely legit. The Snake Eyes one.
Oh.
He
Casting
Okay.
a
played
bunch of
Storm Shadow, and he was
wrestlers.
fantastic. And then
Casting
you
a
had
bunch-
Jason Mimosa, and then you had. I met him, and he's from
Momoa.
Aiea, and I'm from Wahiawa, and he was like, "Island boy." I'm like, and who I was with at the time, it was like, "Oh, you're both from Hawaii," and he looks like that, and you don't. And I'm like, well, some people like Krispy Kremes, and some people don't. Maybe he's just a bad person, but he actually drinks like a ton of beer, and it's like,
and throws hatchets with his daughters. I love him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
No,
they
that was
I'm
cast
the
a
only
bunch of
problematic
wrestlers,
part.
I think
that
what?
that one for me was interesting because I love that they were out there, and a lot of them were just cool. And then you have a certain individual who calls himself a comedian. I guess that's what he writes on his W-2. And look, there's always been that back and forth between like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. And when I was growing up playing this stuff in an arcade, it was like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then fast forward 35 years, and it's like, I don't give a flying Frenchman's credenza. Like,
It was
I
funny.
love both.
I thought it was
I can
cute.
enjoy both. I
Yeah.
don't need a
I think it was just
C-lister
a
podcaster.
nod, though.
Yeah.
Have
It
you
was-
seen what
I
this guy
thought
looks
the
like
gag-
too? The last time I saw
thought the
something
gag
that
was
greasy
funny.
was in a bathroom in Baghdad.
I thought the gag was funny. It was a nod to the old school fighter
Yeah.
game
Little
people having that rivalry. I think that they cast a bunch of wrestlers was a definite, obvious that they're leaning into that cheese
Yeah.
factor.
Cody Rhodes.
And I had no idea that Momoa was that tall.
Yeah.
Like, he's a big,
Momoa's
right,
6'5".
built guy, but until I saw him in a crowd and he was head and shoulders above, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, he's that tall too.
Yeah.
He's an actual
And-
giant.
that
Mo was 6'5", and when I met him, it was like, hi.
Yeah. And that was like
Heyo.
the problematic moment is he dropped the F-bomb during that whole thing, but other than that, they're all of the presenters in this show were actually pretty good. I especially liked the ones for best performance because it was Neil Newbaum, and I cannot remember her name, but she was the voice of Lady Dimitrescu or whatever you pronounce it from Resident Evil Village. Their whole banter I thought was hilarious. It worked really well. They felt really natural doing it. I did like the fact that they had a little bit of a little mini reunion between Neil Newbaum and Disco English. Because they were both voices on Baldur's Gate 3. So I thought that was really cool. I liked their performances, their presenting especially. But there really wasn't anything really cringeworthy throughout the whole show, which was
No, even the
impressive.
Muppets were better.
Yes, the Muppets were actually
like,
really good.
It's still a weird non sequitur in some way, but it was so much better. That Statler and Waldorf bullshit where they didn't even sound, close to the original. And we know Frank Oz is dead and it wasn't him, but like the Piggy was good, the Rolf was good, and
Frank Oz is dead?
the bit. No, but he's not doing Miss
His
Piggy.
career is dead.
I meant he's not doing Miss Piggy at the fucking Game Awards, but they got somebody obviously doing it really well.
Here we go, part-time shamers.
Yeah, but the
He's dead inside. He's not dead, and it's like, what? Yeah.
that they did a bit. It was very self-aware.
Yeah.
Like the bit with Rolf talking about like the song and Miss Piggy was like, the Game Awards will never disappoint. And Rolf's like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
It was really funny. And that there's so much shoved in and he's just shoving it in and going really fast. Like it was a decent bit and well done.
Yeah, I really like the
makeup. It's time to get things right. How about we get things started? Hey, how about we get things started?
yeah. Yeah, it was a really well done over throughout the show. It was actually is really well done. I mean, Flute Guy was back at the end, rocking out like he normally does. He's kind of become like a mainstay now for this whole thing, which
Yes,
I
I
kind of
love
like.
it. I love it so
Yeah,
much.
it's like because like every time they look at him, he's like, "What is that?" He's like getting like at one point he had a collection of PVC pipe that he was playing. Uh, and it's like
I saw that.
yeah, he's got like a PVC pipe thing that he was playing. At one point, he's wearing like using like the world's smallest ocarina that you couldn't
Yeah,
even see.
it was such
Uh,
a little ocarina.
Yeah, and it's
Like they make
it's-
those bigger. You're on a stage. What is that choice about?
yeah. Oh, and for me personally, one of my biggest highlights was when they presented Claire Obscure with Sandfall Entertainment with the Game of the Year award for Claire Obscure. They announced in the speech, it's like, oh, by the way, that as a thank you to all of our everyone has played the game, that all to all of our fans, that big update that we're telling you about, yeah, it's available right now. And literally, while I was watching the co-stream with Scott Johnson and Bo and John, the core co-stream of the Game Awards, I was watching that live at the time, and as soon as they said that, I literally went into Game Pass, saw an update, downloaded it, and was checking out the new content before the show even ended.
Can I tell you the worst part of the Game Awards for me,
What's that?
besides my son throwing up all over, was that Twitch kept crashing and crashing and crashing when I was trying to watch. And I didn't know that they were also, I could have gone over to Amazon Prime because it was apparently
Yeah.
streaming there. I didn't know. So I ended up knowing that the core guys were covering and watching it there. That was the worst part of it for me because I love those guys and I love hearing their banter. And I probably would have gone back and listened to their coverage of it or parts of it anyway. But seeing it the first time, and they talk over asking questions
Yeah.
about like, well, the game, while the people are saying the fucking answers out loud, explaining something. They start to explain something, and they were like, what about this? What about this? I'm like, oh my
They're
God.
telling
if
you
shut
right
up,
now.
They're saying it right now.
Yeah.
They did it over and over. And I'm like,
And-
oh my God.
I
love
mean,
you guys, but what are you doing?
Yeah, I that to me that's just to be expected. It's like that's why I watched theirs first live, and then the next day I watched
went back and
I watched Garrett and Kyle's coverage of it, and they're a little bit more giving the announcement, letting the announcements breathe a little bit.
Listening first and then,
Yeah.
commenting.
So I enjoyed theirs too
Give
for
and
that,
take.
but yeah, like when you're watching Scott and Bo and John doing their stuff, you're mostly going there to see to hear what kind of stupid stuff they're saying.
Come out of their faces. Yeah. It's funny.
Like how like everyone was accusing Scott of being surly the whole time.
Oh yeah, he was being a little grumpy old man, and the chat was going after him, and he was getting very butthurt
Yeah.
about it. It was, and then John singed him so hard. It was funny because Scott was going on about the gotcha games.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned earlier, like the gotcha games and all the upskirt shots. How many upskirt shots do we get? Oh, where's the dirty old man and the grouchy old man that's supposed to be in this game? And John's like, I think he's talking right now.
Nice.
Finger guns engaged.
Yeah.
So I love that. But the worst part for me was like trying to hear
Yeah.
the awards,
And-
but watching it while they were, I was like,
Yeah.
I love you.
And-
Can I mute them? I love you.
Yeah.
I'll watch you later. You
And yeah,
need
and-
to hit the mute button right now.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I knew what to expect, so I knew I was probably not going to hear all the
I've
stuff
watched
from
stuff
the
for them
actual.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah. But yeah, like all that to say, I was watching their stream live. As soon as that update was announced,
Randy got the
I
update.
was
Yeah.
checking out the new content like before the show even ended, and like it's pretty interesting so far. I haven't gotten through all of it yet, but I've gotten quite a bit of it. But so
I love
those
you're
are-
excited for a list that you repeat. One of them is pretty funny. Is that
Oh,
on
did it?
purpose?
Oh, I actually didn't do that on purpose. I forgot I put that on there. But because somehow my
'Cause I'm
brain
looking
just
at it going,
completely
I
bypassed
agree,
that.
I agree. These all look really
Yeah.
cool. I agree with like, I don't know that much about Control, obviously, from our previous
Oh.
discussion, but the other two you mentioned, I am also really, really looking forward to those.
Yes.
But I was looking at the list and like seeing that you listed Control Resident as the second and fourth. I was like, I thought you were just gonna say it
No.
again.
You mentioned it, and for whatever reason, I looked at my list. It's like, I didn't put Control Resonant on there. Typed it in. I just completely bypassed the fact that yes,
Right
it's the
there.
second one on there. But yeah, the games that I'm excited for that they like, we have all the announcements. There was like I think 20 something different announcements that they made,
There was a lot.
and yeah, and most of the like gory stuff is like, okay, that looks cool, but no, I'm not gonna. I'm good. Like I have three that I am really excited about. Fate of the Old Republic. It's about anything Old Republic based. And it's like, dude, get me in that. It's being directed by Casey Hudson, who directed Mass Effect. As like the good parts of the Mass Effect series. Not the corporate bullshit that they had to shoehorn in there because of EA. He's done some really good work with these kinds of games. It's going to be a single player adventure game set in the Old Republic universe. Unfortunately, it is not going to be a remake of the original Knights of the Old Republic. It is a different game, which is kind of sad, but still, I'm really looking forward to that. Control Resonant. Control is still an amazing game. I want to play through it again. And they are in the first Control. Jesse Faden, main protagonist, has this gun that can reshape itself to turn into different types of weaponry. In Control Resonant, it's her brother is the main protagonist, and instead of a gun, he basically it looks almost like the blade of a sword, with no handle
Yeah.
or anything like that. But it looks like it can turn into all kinds of different melee
Like
weapons.
has different abilities. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's getting all the melee weapons. Like he's got a giant hammer, he's got spears and stuff like that. Looks really cool. And then the last one I'm really excited about, even though it's probably going to be a spiritual successor to Pod Racers, but it still looks cool, is the Galactic Racers game.
Oh, I made that sound out loud.
Yeah. Really excited
oh
about
my
that.
god. Oh my god. I had to change my pants on that one. Oh.
Yeah. The Pod Racers game is a core memory, and it's like racing in the Star Wars universe, even though it's not technically going to be pod racing. This takes place after the Empire is destroyed and everything like that, and it's going to be speeder bikes, and it looks like there's going to be some variation. There might be pods
There were some pod racing, and there were audio cues that sounded like pod racers.
But it's not going to be just exclusively pod racers. It's going to be speeders and speeder bikes and stuff like that too. It's going to kind of incorporate all of the generations of Star Wars into one racing game, which I still think is going to be cool. I mean, as long as they're able to nail the feel of old school pod racing, awesome. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it. I have a list of games that I have just listed as looked cool. They're all kind of new properties that I'm not really experienced with, that I still think kind of looked cool. Like one was Tank Rat, where it looks like there's some element of customization of like building your own miniature tanks, which I think is kind of cool. I love being able to customize those kind of things, being able to figure out like, okay, I want this weapon over here, and I'm a big mech fan and everything. I love Armored Core. Great game. Love that customization and everything. This looks like it has a little bit of that as well.
Armored Core.
Oh man. I still have to get the third ending on the latest Armored Core game. So you got Tank Rat, Four Loop, which I believe has a developer that worked on Left 4 Dead. Which is cool. I mean, it looks like Left 4 Dead combined with roguelite. So like their whole tagline at the end was "fail to save the world," Uh,
Yeah.
which I thought was kind of fun. I'm looking for again. I'm a sucker for roguelikes. It seems so. I'm looking forward to that. Nice co-op shooter that roguelike elements and such. Exodus is channeling some real strong Mass Effect vibes. And I'm actually really looking forward to that too. There was some concern with the fact that it's Wizards of the Coast, but
It. Pardon me.
but
Yeah.
I'm not as adverse to that. It just looks cool. Like I said, it's channeling some big Mass Effect vibes. Warlock is D&D themed Warlock.
Holy crap. So that looks really cool. I'm loving the music hits and stuff, but I am getting a Twitch ad for that. Every other freaking stream I watch, like every couple of minutes, I'm getting, and it doesn't come out until 2027.
Jeez.
Jeez.
And I'm seeing so
Mark your
many
calendar
Twitch
for
ads right now.
that.
Like, calm down.
Yeah.
You're blowing your wad a little early here. Get closer to release before doing all this advertising. I'm
Yeah.
seeing so much.
But yeah, I'm invested in that because just in D&D in general, my two absolute favorite classes are Barbarian and Warlock. And I love one of the things I love about Warlocks is the fact that they can just manifest a weapon. It's like I love that kind of stuff where it's like you don't need to wear like for the Barbarian, you don't need to wear armor. Just like and you're more resilient because you're not wearing armor.
Yeah, Rob's
you know,
really big on warlocks too. His
Yeah.
main and WoW is warlock and everything.
Yeah. So
He
I really
plays
like
in
Warlocks.
D&D.
That actually looks pretty cool. Orbitals, which is I think the game you were mentioning earlier, which is a split fiction like, which technically would be a Takes Two like. It just the aesthetic of it, I think, is amazing. It all looks
Is that
like
the one that's coming for Switch too?
yeah, it's all
Yeah.
like 80s era anime style, like hand drawn 80s anime style. It's like just kind of cutesy anime drawings, and it looks cool. It's that co-op split screen experience, like Split Fiction would be, and everything.
Yeah.
That looks kind of interesting.
I mean, Split Fiction is so combat based though compared to just puzzles and stuff.
Yeah,
curious.
it's difficult to tell what orbitals would be. I mean, they showed some space sequences where you're fighting one person's piloting, the other person's fighting in space and everything. Like it looked like they had some more
Well,
puzzle
I
elements.
might find out because apparently we're getting a Switch 2. My son has
Nice.
got money saved up and he said he wants to get a Switch 2 for the fam.
Nice.
Cool.
It's probably gonna be a little while before I even get close to getting one at this point. I still got my Switch Lite sitting right here, which
Texting me about picking up an Xbox Series X today. I'm like, all y'all
Ooh.
calm down.
dude, that'd be awesome.
Like, I want a
Make
new
it easy,
Roomba.
Cinderella.
I want a new Roomba. Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to be Cinderella so much. Get me a Roomba. I don't need the old Xbox still works.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And the last game that I think looks cool is Saros. So this is from the developers who made Returnal. And again, roguelike. I'm kind of a sucker for that right now. It's the spiritual successor to Returnal. And as soon as I saw the trailer, like the only reason why I didn't get Returnal at first is because it was a PS4, PS5 exclusive. It was PlayStation exclusive at the time. I do believe it's on Steam now. I haven't gotten a chance to look at it, and I just kind of, since I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it because I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, I just kind of faded from my memory. But
Yeah.
Saros actually looks really cool. Same kind of vein as that.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
watching Scott. I'm sure someone will buy him Resident Evil, and Leon is back, and watching him
Yes.
play and scream and be terrified and be yelling at Leon for being such a dumbass and cheesy, and
Yeah.
like I really love watching the play of that. I don't know if I'll ever play it. Cover to the Chicken Foot. I want. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that right now. I want that one. I think I really, really would enjoy that game. I love the art style. It looks like, the kind of dynamics I can handle, the kind of game that I would really enjoy.
Yeah.
And Lego Batman. I like the Lego games. Like, I think Lego Harry Potter and Lego Batman, one of the old ones, are the only games I've ever finished, like in my
Oh,
life.
really?
Like, I, yeah, the puzzles and the stuff, and it doesn't rely so much on, just super twitchy stuff. As long as you can, get to a certain level of good, dodge and stuff. And I
Yeah.
love the kind of puzzles they make in those, having to figure out exactly what to put together. I just and I can stick with them. They're not
Yeah.
insanely long. Um, and Lego Batman is wildly entertaining. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yes.
everything is of darkness. Um,
Darkness, no parents.
yeah. Um, so Warhammer 40K, kind of that was a surprise for me.
Yeah.
I
Total.
didn't
The
know
Total
it was
War.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was coming. Kind of probably about time, like maybe a year or
Yeah.
two late, because
I mean,
this has been around so long. But when I was
yeah.
watching the trailer and the gameplay, I was like, I think this is a good way to do it. It looks like it's gonna be kind of StarCrafty,
Yeah.
um, and StarCraft, they don't actually do anything with it anymore. And this would be a great outlet for people who are really into that lore to maybe get some cinematic stuff put in. Like
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to because I'm not a millionaire, and so I haven't got into 40K, and I don't have any space at my house for any more damn minis,
Yeah.
and I don't paint the ones I have, so I haven't gotten into Warhammer 40K, but uh, I it will be a way for me to, I think, experience at least a little of the lore, other
Yeah.
than doing something like going and reading books, because I am sometimes that nerd.
Oh,
And
you're
that
not
there's
the
a
only one.
Diablo expansion. Um,
Yep.
I'm keen on that too, because it's one of those. Rob and I played together for a while. I really enjoyed it, but I don't like playing Diablo alone. Um,
Yeah.
I want to be playing with people, and when there's an expansion, I can usually get people to play with me for a little while. So
Yeah. So my whole thing with like I haven't gotten into Diablo 4. I kind of fell off of Diablo after 3 because eventually it just became it's like okay, I'm just making number go up and that's not sufficient for me at this point. Uh my biggest thing with the new for the Diablo 4 expansion it's coming up as Lord of Hatred, where you actually, apparently this is the first time in Diablo 4 where you actually get to fight one of the primevals, which is kind of weird, considering one of the primevals is literally the name of the game. But as like, people are up in arms, it's like, the Paladin, no, like, they were watching the trailers, like, is it the Paladin or the Crusader? It's like, oh, it's the Paladin, and then all the Crusader people are just like, oh, we don't like the Paladin. It's like, meanwhile, I'm just like, what's the difference? Is there? I didn't know there was a difference between the
people
Paladin
are
and the
really
Crusader.
fixated on that. I don't understand why. Like,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
was I
They
think
waited. I think it was, if I remember correctly, they waited a long time to get Crusader in there.
well, yeah, I
They
know.
just want it so bad.
Well, I know Crusader was in Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Was an added class later
So
on
they
in
just been
Diablo
wanting
3.
and wanting and wanting. Yeah.
But I'm just wondering. It's like okay, I think Paladin was in Diablo 2, which I played very little of, and it's like okay, what's the difference? It's like they looked at all the Paladin stuff that he was doing. And it's like this looks exactly like Crusader stuff. Isn't it just a name? I
I
didn't.
don't know.
That's what I didn't understand. It's like people were just like, like half the people are just like, oh yeah, it's the Paladin. Half the people were, oh, it's the Crusader, and it's like, I thought they were the exact same thing. Sorry, apparently it's my fault. Uh, anyways,
Yeah.
anyway, I was just confused by that, but
Yeah. Another big highlight of the awards for me was the musical bit for
Yeah.
the game award for
Yeah,
the
the
game
medley.
of the year. The medley was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Like you
That's
could hear
always
that
great.
like that Mega Man sneaking in, right? And then I was surprised to see Pauline come out. Like she started singing and I recognized the voice. I've watched Samuel Tucker Young play a lot of Bonanza, Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Mm.
And so I'm like really familiar with this stuff going on in
Yeah.
that lore with the little girl Pauline riding around on Donkey Kong and stuff. And she came out and I was like, that's the voice actress. It's got to be because it even looks like her. And like I went
Yeah.
and looked it up and it was Jenny Kidd just showing up and singing when it was just a musical medley until then.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the Game of the Year medley.
And she's so good. Like
Yeah.
seeing another powerful vocalist like that, like the one from Clair Obscur is obviously an insanely good soprano.
Yeah.
Jenny Kidd's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
Those vocals, woof. So that was fine. I liked the medley a lot.
Yeah, it was really well done. I was I was surprised at the when the vocals came up because all the other songs were just musical, were just instrumental, and then to have her vocals come up, really well,
like, oh my God, it's
really well
Molly!
done. It really was impressive, with the Game of the Year medley.
And it was just like, I mean, she's not going to win. At least I got to do this.
Yeah, well, yeah, she didn't win music, but she did win.
We all
the
know it's
game
gonna
won.
Yeah,
Best family game.
We all know
I
it's
think.
going to be Clair Obscur.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, like, and then with some of the, thankfully my lowlights or low height or lowlights, whatever I refer to it as. I know that's probably the incorrect term, but whatever. Is very short. Overall, I thought the show was really good. It was really well done. The only real things that I thought were missteps, one's just kind of unfortunate. The other was, because poor planning on their part, I think. But ending the show with the High Guard trailer, I thought was really weak, to put it delicately.
It was a little, it was weak enough that they did that, and they're like, "Is that the end?"
Yeah,
like, it was a little.
We were all hoping for
placed.
and one more thing after that, because
right, spoiled my
like,
jobs again.
Because they build it up with, it's like, oh yeah, these are developers, developers from that made Titanfall and Apex Legends, and we're just like, Titanfall 3. You mentioned anything about Titanfall, you're gonna get people who just like, is it Titanfall 3? If it's not, I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Nope.
Cool, we get this trailer, and it's basically different Overwatch from like 5 years ago. And it's like, this is not what we want ever again. This is no.
Like, okay.
I mean, literally, it was just like, I mean, almost down to the art style. It looked just like old Overwatch. And it's no, that's already been done multiple times. It's not what we want anymore. If we want to do that, we'll go play Overwatch, or in my case, Marvel Rivals, because I still think it's the better game. Personal opinion, but anyway. But that was a huge misstep on their part to try to end the show on that. I think that if of all the announcements they could have done, the one to actually end the show on probably would have been Divinity. Because that was the one that they had like the biggest production value for.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Because again, they have a worldwide panel of like 100 or so people that have their pulse on what all gamers like, and maybe there is more demand for this a new version of this kind of game than we know about or care about. We'll see.
I mean,
there had to be a reason they did it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought that was a misstep on their part, but maybe there's likely information that I don't have. But the only other thing that I thought was kind of low.
Thing, yeah.
I mean, and that was nothing on the Game Awards itself. It was just a factor of timing of when the release was.
Yeah, because it had to be released sooner to get in this year.
Yeah, the problem was because they were doing it episodically, the first 4 episodes came out before the deadline. The second half, the second 4 episodes came out after the deadline. So it's like, okay, they could have judged it on the first 4 episodes, but that's not a complete game. And so it's like the fact that it got put there in there at all was kind of fudging the rules a little bit. But it's like, yeah, like at the time of the voting of the eligibility, the full game wasn't out.
Right.
So it does. I have actually got a little bit of a extra Christmas money, and I was able to get Dispatch because I've heard really good things about it. I played through it once so far. Was actually really impressed with it. I mean, it like with the pedigree of Telltale games, granted, the only Telltale game I've ever played was the Guardians of the Galaxy one. You know, it was a really well told game. Like, I would love to have just a show of this, of just like, give me a series of this. I mean, well, you don't even really have to. Just turn this game into cutscenes. These are basically the episodes you want to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really well done. Like I said, I've gone through it once. It's not going to be the last time I play through it, because there's a lot of choices that I could have done differently. There were some choices where I was kind of surprised. Like, the one thing I really like about these kinds of games is they'll tell you, like,
I've only watched a tiny amount. I keep seeing people talk about it.
Yeah.
But I watched Garrett and
Kyle
play a little bit the other day.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was that simple, Telltale, but
Yeah.
it seems like a cool story that I'd be into.
Yeah, there is a game to it still, with like the actual dispatching and the hacking mini game and stuff like that. So there is gameplay to it, but a lot of it is just choices. And those choices can make a big difference.
I'm keen on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to be playing through it again. I was surprised. Like, one thing I really like is the fact that they give you a percentage of, like, you and such percentage of players made this choice. And the fact that there's some choices that I made that are just like, to me, are this is the obvious choice. This is what you should go with. And it's like, you and 30% of other players have made this choice. It's like, how? Yeah. But I'm excited to play through it again.
Cool. So we missed a shaming opportunity because they didn't have any big security snafus this year.
Yes, that was
Nobody
actually
running up on stage and saying dumb shit. And I found myself, when I was making that note earlier, wondering if they on their own realized they really needed to do that, to step things up and not let that shit happen, because there's kind of like a payoff too, right? Because it gets news coverage for when those things have happened, and there hasn't been anything like super catastrophic. Just, well, that was weird, and then everyone's paying attention.
Yeah.
So do they care that much? But I wonder if the problems that happened at TwitchCon made them a little more like, we should probably be more careful about security so that we don't end up with a situation like that.
Yeah, I didn't actually.
Like, it's in the same sphere of gaming people, and I feel like that might have made them, if they didn't already, because of previous incidents, that might have made them
possible.
Step
Like,
up.
I haven't heard, like, I don't know the details behind the TwitchCon stuff. I know I heard something happened, but I don't know what the details are. I haven't looked into that.
Yeah, it was like a creeper going after.
They've had some issues for a minute.
Celebrity influencer, and like being able to get away with it and walk away, and
But yeah, I mean,
it was nasty.
I mean, could be part of it, but just overall, I was really impressed with just how clean the whole show ran. Everything seemed to go off pretty well.
Yeah, the production value seemed pretty high.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a very clean show. I wasn't really surprised by any of the winners. I'm personally glad that Claire Obscure got as many awards as they did. I mean, and the awards that they didn't get, that they were nominated in, it made sense. With Battlefield 6 getting best sound design.
The sound
makes sense.
And Theo got so excited he messaged in our Discord.
That was like the one thing, like, and I watched it on Prime, but that was the one thing. It's like, okay.
Called it.
I predicted something that occurred. That's called a prediction.
Yeah. But overall, I was actually very impressed with this year's show. But yeah, man, just of all the years for all of these games to come out at the same time, the same year, and as like games that we knew about that were, anticipated, like Silk Song, Hades 2, and everything, and Death Stranding. There's like, you put any one of those games in any other year, and it would hands down be the winner. It's like almost no contest. and somehow as I gotta
Clear
watch.
obscure.
I'm pretty sure there's like a documentary or like behind the scenes type thing, video on YouTube for Claire Obscure. I still gotta watch it, but it's like some of the things that like the fact that they did what they did with the people that they had, the people that they got, was insane. Because most of the people on their development team, this is their first game that they've made. It's like most of the takes that they have
Yeah.
for the dialogue in the game were like first or second take. It's like some of the things like there's one scene in particular where one of the characters finishes the line of the other character. That was an ad lib. That wasn't even an ad lib by the voice actor. That was an ad lib by the mocap actors. And it's like it made the game feel human.
That was a neat thing that happened with the Claire Obscure crew too. They brought the whole freaking team.
Oh yeah,
with them.
the whole team. The whole
And then some of the voice actors were like giving credit to and props to the mocap actors.
Oh, yeah.
That was another thing I saw with, whether not controversy, but suggestions that people are mumbling about making a separate category for mocap actors for
Oh, yeah.
future Game Awards.
I think that'd be completely valid. I mean, especially in this situation where the mocap actor was different than the voice actor. Having both of those, and the fact that the mocap
And that
actor
they're playing
had
off
that
each
much
other.
influence.
It's a separate skill. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would be completely up for that. Oh, so
But what years do you have enough games using that specific technology to
Yeah.
make it a category, right?
yeah.
I just found something I didn't realize that Coven of the Chicken Foot game I want to play
Yeah.
is the studio. It's the first project of Wildflower Games, but the studio is headed by Bruce Straley, who is the co-director of Last of Us and Uncharted.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I think it's very
And now he's in
telling.
a dark fantasy.
I think it's very telling the fact that we have so many fantastic games, like or at least games that look great, that are from what would be considered independent or at least smaller studios that are headed up by people who are just like, I'm getting tired of being in this giant corporation that has massive overhead trying to tell me how to do my job. I'm just going to start my own studio and do my thing. I love that.
Yeah.
The fact that we have, like, if there's any one thing about
I'm arting here.
yeah, if there's any one thing that I can appreciate about the developers for Highguard, that it's like they're going out and they're doing their thing. They're just like they have the experience from being in that big company. They're going to go and do their own thing. I can appreciate that. I still think they're making the wrong choice with the type of game, but that's me. But
Saying.
But I love the fact that we're hearing more and more of that lately, where it's like from the developers of such and such, we're doing our own thing. And it's like I think I love that. And just Sandfall Studios, or Sandfall Entertainment, or whatever, I don't remember what the second part is, but Sandfall, again, just so impressive what they've done. It's like the fact that it's like I think like the stories of the people who became like the directors in the various departments for that game is just insane. Cause like the person who basically wrote the game, like wrote the dialogue and everything in the game, she didn't start off of that. She started off in like some completely, I think they said she was like,
like accounting or something.
yeah, she was like completely different department. And then she just started writing stuff for the game. And it's like, this is really good. You're going to be the director doing this now.
Like, okay.
And she killed it.
I love that. Yeah.
And it's
I
like,
love that.
like Lorian was like, they found him on a SoundCloud message board. And it's like, this sounds pretty cool. And it's like, him and, I'm sorry, I do not remember the vocalist's name. Cause she's part of this too. Like, I think they came as a package deal type of thing. Both of them.
Well, she got hired and he was doing the directing for the songs. Alice Duport Percier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alice, the French girl. And he just loved her voice so much, and their relationship, from what I read, like when we were doing the other show last week, they bonded really quick and just kept
Yeah.
working together and made that stronger and stronger. She became a bigger part of actually writing some of the stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta watch that documentary because it's like it from just the little bits that I've heard, it's absolutely insane. Like on paper, none of this should have worked, and
And
somehow
yet,
it's like every single
Magic.
person in that team rolled a 20 on whatever check they needed and just killed it. And
yeah.
just the fact that every time someone went up there from their studio to accept an award, just you could see the humility on them. How it's like they were just as surprised to get this award as
Although
anyone
they're
else.
being weirdly dressed as
Mhm.
mimes.
Yeah, well, that's a whole meme for the game because those are actual outfits
Yeah.
you can get for your characters in game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's become a meme for that.
It was
But
very
just
silly.
it was hilarious. It's like the commitment to that for everyone was awesome. But yeah, just you could the humility in their voices when they accepted the awards. You didn't get any sense of arrogance from any of them. Oh, and I really appreciate that fact. The fact that I'm really hoping that this encourages them, but doesn't overly embolden them, I guess. Oh,
And your kids are having a whole party.
yeah. Yeah, the fact that like our living room is like right above me doesn't help. But and also the fact that there's no walls in our basement, so everything's just sound everywhere.
Just there.
Yeah. But and normally you can't really hear them, but they're being particularly loud right now. Anyways, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what Sandfall does next. Because I love the fact that the Claire Obscure is the title, and then the Expedition 33 is the sub story. Oh, and that they can establish this whole world, this whole extended universe, and come up with different stories. It's like
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to what they come up with next. Oh, they're definitely going to be a developer to look to. Oh, and the fact that they said that it's like people ask them this, like, so are you going to expand your team and everything now? And it's like they explicitly said, it's like, no, I think we like the size that we're at. We're just like I really hope they don't let this go to their heads. I really hope they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
That they stay at the level they're at and just continue making these kinds of games. I really hope that for them. But yeah, I think they deserve every award they got. Anyway. Sorry, kids are just being really loud. But yeah, was there any other notes? That's all my notes for the Game Awards.
No, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover.
They showed the car being destroyed. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's
I'm a simple creature. I mean, I enjoyed it, and I agree with you. Like, pacing was better. Like, there was a lot of things. Because the last one, well, the one where they introduced the finals, like, I mean, I've been to Latin classes that had more. Actually, I love Latin, but it was just weird. And then it was like this weird timing. Like they were making it up just as they go. It almost felt like the host was going to be like, "Oh, we're doing that now," and it's like, emails, bro, read them.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
had more of a flow. The coverage, the way it was set, especially with Prime, I think they did a real good job. And you know, like any award show, you're going to have you're gonna have moments somewhere in between, and this really didn't. And you know, sometimes those moments are fun, and in a lot of
Yeah.
cases, it's like, are you paying your
Yeah.
security with like
Oh.
ham sandwiches and hugs? Like, get somebody.
Well, that, and it's like also the people that they got for like the celebrity, the like stunt casting, if you will, they made sense and they weren't excessively old. Which that sounds bad, but it's like, okay, the fact that like Robert De Niro, or I don't remember who it was a couple of years ago. I don't even remember. But it's like you're getting like Harrison Ford out there. It's like the fact that he was able to make it on up to the mic and backstage was probably a feat in itself.
I don't know what a video game is.
Yeah,
They didn't tell
but
me.
it's like,
I'm just up here because the check cleared.
yeah, or even like Jeffrey Wright and his son. Like he has a connection to the game. He's in the game. He's done the voice work for it and everything like that. He's,
Yeah.
getting it. Like the choices that they made for the celebrity presenters made sense. Either they were like an integral part of the game, or they were really passionate about the game itself. So I thought that was really good choices in that respect. Yeah, I thought it was just overall a really good presentation. I think it's because they didn't try to go too far. They only had like the wire work type stuff was basically the extent of their stunts, and they were able to get to work well. And then beyond that, they didn't really have any like big stunts that they were really trying to do on the stage. So I think that worked well for them. So.
They showed the car being kicked and beat up.
Yes, they did.
I've still, well, and I love things like that because it reminds me. There's a channel on YouTube that I adore. It's called Pitch Meeting, and just from that trailer, watching that bit, somebody stood up who makes more money than I will ever be worth alive. Literally went, "Hey, in that scene where they kick the car and they're just human beings, we're doing it."
Oh yeah.
And everybody in the room went, okay,
That's-
that was random. Like, is it
Yeah.
near 5 o'clock and we need an ideal? But that goes hand in hand with just the trailer embracing. Like, it has kind
Yeah.
of that, it has somewhat of that slick but old school kung fu theater kind of like, especially they like with the pans and zooms, like with Ryu, and they do the
Yeah.
like back in the day, like Kill Bill did a lot of that, but it came originally from Sonny Chiba and Shokazuki and stuff I grew up on, where,
Yeah.
we would watch that at like 1 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. And at about 1:34 to 1:36 was when my parents yelled at us to go to bed because me and my sisters were play fighting because we watched too much of that crap. And they were like, "Why are you not asleep?" And it's like, "But she kicked me." And he was like, "You know what, son? You probably deserved it." And I'm like, "Well, this won't hurt my self-esteem in years to come. Good night, Dad."
Yes, but uh,
However,
yeah.
no, it was a good show, good time.
Yeah.
I love a lot of the releases. Obviously, Resident Evil,
Yeah.
that one lights my fire. I mean,
Yeah.
not even a game. Like, you just say that, and it's like that's the name of a cookie brand. I'm like, well, then they got Resident Evil cookies. Hook a brother up. And I did enjoy a lot of the presenters. The Street Fighter thing was on point. I just love that for a lot of the gamers. I mean, I know it's generational. Like, there's younger and there's older. But for people who grew up with it and was obsessed with both of those, especially playing both of them at great lengths when I should have probably been saving for college, but playing those and enjoying them, and then it's like, let's start a rivalry, and it's like, you know what, it's past my bedtime. I don't do rivalries anymore. The
No.
last rivalry I was made to pay attention to was in high school, and it was called the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Yeah, I was amused by that bit as much, but oh yeah. All right.
My
It's
goodness.
been a long show.
It's been a
I
good
was
one, but
expecting to be, but like I said, this is our last show of the year, so I think I think this was a good way to end the year.
absolutely.
Could we have had more clickbait technically if something bad happened during the show? Probably, but I'm glad that the show went smoothly. Oh, and like the
Oh,
games, like
how
the
dare they
announcements.
do this like professionals? What were they thinking?
Yeah. But yeah. So everyone, thank you for
It's
watching.
been a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has been, man. I know we took a break during part of the year for during the summer, but I'm still trying to figure out how to. This year has been a year of discovery for me. So with trying to figure out my conditions and such, and trying to figure out things around here. Uh, so everyone, I really appreciate all the time that you've given us, given your ears, given your eyes. Uh, I really hope to. Uh, Ultimately, I would love to be able to make a community. But we'll get there when we get there. Uh, I just really like talking about games with people. I like playing games. I like talking. As much of an introvert as I am, I do like talking to people about things that I'm interested in. Oh, and yeah, I hope to.
Like I was supposed to play the games. Ha ha
You
ha.
at least did research. That's all I expect.
I
So
love playing the ones that I do, and the ones I speak on very intently are the ones that I really do play.
yeah,
And I do love doing the research as well. I just hate that in a lot of cases, I look at them more than I play them, and the
yeah,
playing of them, considering some of these games are so vast, are snapshots. So
yeah, yeah.
Theo, do better.
Well, my plan, my hope is that all of us do better. Oh, I'm going to be,
Yeah.
like I said, this is the time of year that I take to
I'm doing better right
reevaluate.
now.
Wait, just a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the time of the year that I reevaluate things and try to smooth things out, get my workflow going, and everything like that. So I'll do that again this year, and hopefully by the time we start next year, everything will be even better than it is now. But everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Uh, Obviously, we're not going to be back next year, or next week. So we'll see
Wait,
you. We'll
jeez,
see you in
don't
January.
curse us, Christ.
We're gonna be back in January. I don't even know what date it is, but probably first Sunday in January we'll be back. Actually, it might be second Sunday in January because we'll figure it out. We'll keep you informed when we're coming back on. But everyone, thank you for listening. If you like what you've heard and like to help us out, a few ways you can do that are by giving us a review over on Apple Podcast. You can follow my YouTube channels for our live recordings Sunday nights starting at 9:15 Eastern Time, or you can leave us a tip on our Ko-fi. If you'd like to contact us, you can with our email, parttimegamers.cast@gmail.com, or you can join our Discord channel. It's usually the easiest way to get hold of us. I'm in there pretty much every day. That's my default parking spot on my Discord. You can find the show and links to everything around it using the link bit.ly/CI Productions. Ember, where can people find you around the internet?
Go to 9of12.com,
One second.
NINEOF12.com. It'll point you to all my various little weird projects and stuff. How about you, Theo? Is there somewhere people can find your stuff right now?
No, I'm still kind of internet homeless. I haven't had. I will finally have like today. I finally had like my first like real day off in forever, and I went to brunch with my girlfriend's family, and then literally when I clicked on, I had actually spent most of the day with uh, my son and my daughter. We went to get sushi, and then we went to see my daughter's favorite Christmas movie is the Jim Carrey Grinch That Stole Christmas.
Yeah.
We came to the realization that she had never seen it at a movie theater. So they
Oh, and apparently we're not going to get the last part of that story.
Oh, no. Oh, well. But I did find the Ko-fi link, which you should probably put in the notes template.
Yeah, I know it's on my website, linked in there as well. But anyway,
I know it's where I got it.
Yep. I'm sorry. This is part of what I'm going to be doing this end of this month is figuring out all this stuff because I still need to set up the Ko-fi.
That's a great face we got with Theo frozen.
Also, before we end the show, I just wanted to show this off because it kind of impresses. I'm kind of impressed by it. This is what happens when I'm bored at work.
His little mustache.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. Anyways, everyone, thanks for watching, and until next time, we're the Part-Time Gamers clocking out.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.